What is up, guys? Sephron here. Just wanted to give you guys an update since I'm not able to play today. Uh, Path of Exile Betrayal started on Friday. Would have been around 2 o'clock for us in the afternoon. Um, to kind of give you guys an idea of what Travis and I are doing, we are doing a challenge between the two of us. Solo Self found that we're going to figure out who can collect the most uniques in the game. Now, um, that being said, there is quite a few. There's like over 500 or something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous how many there are. So I'm kind of excited to see how that kind of pans out. He is doing I believe, a Totem Hierophant with an Arc spell. Um, and I'm going to be doing Arc Saboteur. And one of the things that was kind of funny was we didn't discuss um, our plans for what builds we were going to be doing. I had kind of like spitballed the idea of um, doing a couple other different builds. But before we started on Friday and we're talking in chat during his stream, we hadn't discussed anything at all. So it was just kind of interesting that he chose Arc as well. Um, so I chose Arc Saboteur. I kind of want to go over the build here in a second, but the whole point of our challenge is who can find the One Piece, who can find that mythical treasure of all the uniques. So let me jump over to the build guide that I'm going to be using, and the um, the build is actually from a gentleman named Angry Role Player. Now, this guy is freaking awesome. He has got such a cool way of this layout. It's just awesome. So, the big thing for this Saboteur build is the fact that it's good for heavier bosses without a lot of gear, frankly. Um, and since we're in solo self-found, I don't want to have to be like the whole point is to look for all these uniques, but I don't want to have to be jumping all over the place just to try and figure out where this one item is from this one thing. I can just basically target farm is what I want to do. So this is going to make it a lot easier as far as getting the gear so that I can actually do the damage, so that I can actually farm and actually get those things. This guy here, again, Angry Role Player, did a very good job with this layout. So he got a full build guide here. He talks about the past of the build and how he was doing it in A.R.P.G and all that kind of stuff. But he's got a pros list, cons list. I mean, he's got the whole shebang, right? So I'm really excited to kind of go through this and see what I can come up with, whether it be some differences on my own, or if it's going to be part of a bigger picture that would push me into this type of this build. The Saboteur idea, I saw it happen once. I saw the idea happen once. It was actually in a different game. It was in Final Fantasy 13, I think. When I was playing through those games, there's a role called the Saboteur, and it's just straight debuffs. And I was like, man, that's a cool idea. I kind of like that idea of being able to run around and just kind of not necessarily be a support, even though that's a lot of what it is. Um, but just kind of degrade, it sounds terrible, but degrade the enemies that I'm trying to destroy. So it's caught my attention is the main thing. Let's go ahead and jump into path of building. I'll kind of go over how the Saboteur is set up. We have a lovely first spot here. We're going to go towards Pyromaniac. But we want to kind of talk about these little notes, because the little notes make a huge difference. You get 10% trap damage, mine damage, and then you get movement speed, which is always beneficial for any kind of trap or mine situation. Pyromaniac helps me with dealing with potions, I don't have to worry about doing ignite or shock immunities. But the big thing for Pyromaniac is the life regen. The life regen on these are just huge, and you can go up to 20% based on per seconds. Um, survivability all the way. So taking this first is a no-brainer, especially with a reduced mana cost. Second, we're going to go ahead and go this way and hit these two nodes, Perfect Crime and Chain Reaction. But this first node, we're just going to get more damage, more throwing speed for sure. Next, we're going to hit cooldown recovery and gain damage for each trap. Now this is a big one because this is how you stack, right? So when I throw a trap down and then I throw another trap down and throw another trap down and basically stack them on top of each other, this is what's going to give the extra bonus damage for each one that I set up. Okay, 20% chance for traps to trigger a second time or an additional time. This is another damage buff, but the main thing I feel like is going to be cooldown speed recovery, or cooldown recovery speed for when I throw a trap. So it's not going to take forever to just drop the trap, drop the trap, drop the like if you've ever played Assassin on Diablo 2, recovery speed for being able to drop the trap is kind of big. Next we're going to hit trap damage, mind damage, again throwing speed. But chain reaction is kind of a big one too. With the same idea of the throwing speed, being able to trigger your detonation and then have all those traps that you have in close proximity, if they're gonna go off, I mean they're gonna go off. So you get huge trap damage here. Cooldown recovery speed again. So at this point you're at what? You're at 25%, so you get another quarter thrown in there for recovery speed. For throwing them, your AoE goes up. It's just all around chain reaction's awesome. Lastly, we're going to go this way for explosive expert. This is resistances, more damage, reduced damage taken from traps, mines, penetration, that's a big one, AoE and area damage. So this is, overall, I'm kind of excited to check out this tree. There's a couple of them that I've been looking at, like a bomb specialist, a demolitions expert, Born of the Shadows, but I still feel like I'm going to follow this guide fairly well. It seems very well put together, and I'm excited to see how it works throughout the main game. Here's a quick shot of the tree, if I can actually fit it all in here, maybe. Here we go. All right, so there's the whole tree. 91 is the cap. You can go higher than that, obviously, but I get a little playroom. I thought actually about taking an Eldritch Battery or something, but it seems kind of odd for the mana cost thing. So I was looking at some of these nodes and all of them seem so good. Like the more throw speed here, more trap damage, cold-hearted calculation. I mean, that's right off the rip of a good setup for traps and mines and stuff. They got trickery in here. They got saboteur in here. Overall, this whole setup is just beautiful. Definitely excited to get started. Lastly, I think I just want to kind of go over the I don't know the schedule, I guess. So Travis is actually going to post a video on Friday. Okay, so that is my day off. But his day on, I think that's how that's going to work. Otherwise, it's going to be I post on Friday and then he posts the following week. So Friday is going to be kind of the day you guys are going to want to pay attention. And you'll kind of see what you get. But at the same time, we're going to be posting up a counter, I believe, on how, or at least I will be, of how many uniques I have set aside and have put in my stash. I have bought plenty of stash tab room to make this happen. So I'm definitely excited to see if I can fill a couple quad tabs. That'd be cool. But again, hopefully you guys are doing well. My name's Sephron, and I will see you in Ray class, guys. Later.